All right, guys. Thank you. We're back. Sophisticated Ignorance Podcast. We might be changing the name, but for now, we're going to be Sophisticated Ignorance. Your boy Stat here with DJ O. Excited to be doing this again. Be back. It's been a while since we did this, but I'm happy to be back in the studio.
2016.
Word.
Took a year off.
Shout out to Omar. OS Productions, definitely located in the Bronx. It's a studio if you want to do any podcast for yourself. Definitely the place to go. So I definitely promote that. But piggybacking off of that, we always have a special guest today. Got my boy Trent here.
What up?
What's good? No, I had to bring him on the show. We got a lot of business to take care of, so I wanted to do
These
it.
niggas be
public,
subbing each other
got
Got a
on
lot
the
of
book.
shit to talk.
They be subbing each other on the book. It's spicy, so we
I'm a little
cool,
under
right?
the weather. I got my tea and shit, but
Niggas ain't drinking
still
today, so
pulled up.
everything gonna be copacetic. We ain't no
Still
alcohol.
pulled up to talk some shit with my boy.
All right, so we're gonna get started. You got the
Oh, yeah, I got you right now.
so we're gonna go into a segment we like to call Not Really News. So it's basically a segment where we talk about anything really happening in social media in terms of hip hop. It could be like current events, anything like that. So we chose a couple topics that we're gonna talk about today. And feel free. I know all of us is on live. I feel like right now. So if you want to throw in yellow comments, we could definitely air those also on our podcast as well. But we're gonna start off with the whole Kanye West fiasco. So I think it's happened like a couple weeks ago, right? Kanye West went on TMZ and he spoke about how he felt like slavery was a choice. And I feel like it's something that sparked a lot of controversial thoughts from other people. Sparked a lot of conversation between people of the black culture, white culture, overall in hip hop. So we
The
just
boy
wanted to
said
get
slavery was the choice. That's
I
gonna
don't see how
spark
white
some.
people was, you feel me, involved, but definitely like it started on Twitter. Kanye don't tweet, he go MIA from the world unless he about to drop a project. So he was on his whole good music, dropping a bunch of shit, Pusha T, Tiana Taylor, all that stuff, and then he started doing a nice little run. Went on, had an interview with Charlamagne, and then he dropped the interview. He went to TMZ. Well, you basically know the story. This happened. Basically, it's Kanye a dub? Because I don't fuck with 2018 Kanye. Like, I'm right now, late registration, graduation is all I listen to. You feel me? Might fuck with Yeezus a little bit, but I feel like that's where nigga, you feel me, jumped off the deep end and I can't really fuck with it no more. Like, personally, this shit's crazy. Like,
I mean, let me explain a little bit of what I read into before I thought it to Trent. I feel like I kind of read into, so on the surface when you hear the phrase slavery was a choice, everybody's like, what are you talking about? Like, it's kind of like, what? Like, of course slavery wasn't a choice, but I feel like his background behind that is more mental. So he feel like because I feel like he felt like at that time black people had the numbers. We had strength for numbers. Like there was like maybe like 3 rulers. I'm right, exaggerating, but there was way less rulers than the black people. So they could have like, banded together and went against that, but they feel like they really enslaved their minds. So they couldn't unlock that mindset, like we're gonna be slaves, in order to overtake that. So that's where he was really coming from, which I feel like is a valid kind of statement. But what you think about that?
I don't think that shit is valid because, like you said, it was a mental thing. Before they even got to America, they were mentally beaten and just like deprived of any thoughts that they could escape slavery and stuff like that, and just the stuff that they had to endure over and over and over again took that thought of, oh, this is a choice, oh, we do have the numbers, oh, we can fight back. That was taken away from them as soon as they got there or before they got there. And not to mention, there were numerous attempts at trying to overthrow slave masters and stuff like that, shit that we don't even know about, that didn't go the right way. We hear about Harriet Tubman and the Underground Railroad, and that's like, what else can we name
that's
them?
dope, but yeah, imagine how many motherfuckers tried that shit. Like, there's a whole Underground Railroad. I'm pretty sure other people tried, but they failed. You feel me? And the repercussions of failing is losing, being amputated. You feel me? Death. You feel me? And being humiliated in front of other
Kids
people.
getting raped.
You feel me? Like, yeah, that shit is spooky. Like, I feel like, and even when you go to the mental slavery, there's a book. And I don't know the name, but this nigga explains how you create a slave. Because of course, the white man knows there's more of them. They're bigger and stronger than me. But guess what? If I take the biggest nigga and you feel me, violate him or pull him apart in front of his people, you feel me? The children that are born into it, so they know nothing else. This is the way of life. Like, You can't. I don't want to hear no. This shit is mental. You should have broke free, nigga. You never dealt with that.
No, I definitely agree with you. I'm
That
just
shit
trying to
is
play
out of
the
control.
devil advocate in terms of just trying to drive the conversation.
Yeah,
But,
what is-
devil-
I mean,
there's
I feel
no-
like I feel like this is kind of the stuff that we kind of preach today. Like I feel like to our youth, to our families and stuff like that, in terms of we all like get into our societies, and most of the time I feel like they write us off as a statistic, but we try to teach our youth and even each other as peers. We try to teach each other to be above that or go above that and not be locked into what society says we should be, or not what what we see on TV. Like not everybody has to be a rapper, not everybody has to be in the NBA. Like we try to like unlock that mindset to go. It's like you can't be what your society says you can't be, and I feel like that's kind of what Kanye is trying to say. I'm like, again, I'm
it's
not
a
saying
difference though. It's a difference because
But-
Bob Marley said emancipate yourself from mental slavery, and
Yep.
that's the difference from saying slavery was a choice. There's two different messages. That you're
yeah,
trying-
the
that
way
you're trying to
the way
send,
it
you feel
got
me?
the way it got
And I don't
communicated
respect
was
them.
bad.
I don't
but-
respect them because whether or not his intentions is to get attention or to actually pass this message along, like it just doesn't make sense. It doesn't
there
make
was
sense
no,
to me.
He had no malice of making the world a better place at all, because where the fuck were you for that whole year when you was MIA? You feel me? Like you never said nothing. When you about to drop an album, you want to go on TMZ and talk your shit? No, I'm not
I
jacking.
mean, he said he was going through his mental stuff. He was in the hospital, in and out.
He's still going
So
through
yeah,
some mental shit.
He gained a lot of weight, had surgery and
he's
stuff like
he's still mentally incapable of thinking before he speaks and coming up with a thought that's clear, concise, that we can understand. And even like everything you say is gonna be debated, but that shit is not okay.
Yeah, the like I said, the way he delivered the message was wrong. I feel like he could have worded it the right way, but I feel like the conversation that he's now sparking, I feel like is needed. I feel like because mental health is something that I feel like we all go through in different levels, but it's something that now he's kind of bringing to the forefront. And I feel like I said, he could have said it in different words than slavery was a choice, but in terms of what he meant by it, which is like trying to like break free of what the norm is, I feel like that's something that really needs to be discussed. 'Cause I feel like we all kind of
My
fit
thing
into a
is
box.
that he used slavery as the
Yeah,
as
that
the,
wasn't the
I feel
greatest
as
analogy.
the
Right.
example. Like
Yeah.
you could have just said that message without
I
using
feel like,
that.
I feel
Right.
like a better conversation is, like, don't think of yourself as a victim, even though you are, you feel me, a scapegoat and a victim in the world that you live in. Like, be like, like taking the police out to get me, shit like that. Like, they might be, but not having that mental. I feel like mental is very important. Like the way you outlook shit and being positive. You feel me? Like when a cop stop you, don't think the nigga gonna try to kill you, even though you feel me, the nigga might be having a bad day and you asked out. But at the
Perception
same
is
time,
reality.
yeah, perception is your reality. That's not perfect.
I know.
You feel me? And you feel me? Somebody might have ill will towards me, but until that actually happens, you feel me? Just like my whole thing is like educate people about how to deal with the police and how to I don't know, best case scenario is like, don't assume, even though they assume, don't assume that they assume. Like if you act like you're not aware of the fact that you black, you think it's a regular stop and shit, like the nigga really stop you for actual cause, then you feel me? Told him that way, like what happened? Everything good? Oh, all right, cool. Yeah, I'll get out the car. I mean, even if you're not comfortable or know your rights, you feel me? Educate yourself. That's the mental, you feel me? Freeing yourself of being black in America. Like all the time, like when a nigga stop me or D stop me, and I'm like, see, I get it. It's black. It's a Friday night. Whatever.
Yeah,
It's my bad. I'm sorry for being dark skinned. You feel me?
I feel like on paper that makes sense, but I feel like there's been times where we may have followed the same protocol that you've just set us out to do, and it still ended up in somebody getting shot.
That's
or-
just the
It's
world we
it,
live
nah,
in.
yeah, it's just the world we live in. It's
Country we
it's
live
an
in.
imperfect world. Like I accept these truths the way I have to. Like I can't if I dig too deep in this shit, I'm gonna fuck around and be depressed about
Yeah,
it.
you saying you just can't think about it
Yeah,
that much.
I'm just saying you
gonna-
can't just think about it until that day actually comes. You feel me? Like, you can't assume the world out to get you until it actually happens.
But I mean, I feel like a part of Kanye's, I know he went to go meet with Donald Trump and stuff like that, and people weren't really fans of that as well. But I watched his interview that he did with Charlemagne. And a part of what he was saying with the reasoning why he was, speaking to Donald Trump in general is because he felt like he knows that people's mindset is kind of, we want people's mindset to be kind of what you were speaking about in terms of like knowing that something may happen, but don't think about it kind of thing. But he wants to go more on the preventative side. Like what can we do for that not to even be a possibility? So I feel like he felt like if we just like stay on two sides, so like maybe it's the white side versus the black side, or Donald Trump versus the rest of the country. If we feel like that, there's no progression that's going to be had. But there needs to be a conversation had between you and the other side for there to be any kind of progress. So I feel like that's what
I just feel like we shouldn't be taking political views from Kanye. Period. I'm
just communicating. I'm just a messenger.
I know it's a hot topic. You feel me? And it's crazy. 2018. I mean, and not saying that social figures and entertainers don't have good ideas. I just feel like we shouldn't get our like we shouldn't take Kanye seriously. You feel me? Especially
we shouldn't, but we do.
Man,
we get a lot of what we do from seeing what other people do, whether you realize it or not. We do it unconsciously, like
praising celebrities and shit.
Yeah, like I don't know.
Like people don't talk. People talking more about the Kanye interview and not the J. Cole, Angie Martinez interview.
Oh no, I seen that shit. That shit was dope. That shit was beautiful. That's and twice Angie done delivered a great interview with J. Cole. That nigga don't talk to nobody.
Angie's OG.
Facts.
Just shouting out Barley Rock on Instagram. He said Kanye's going against the grain, and it's something people are scared to do.
He
said Kanye for
Barley. I don't think he had
he
a problem
graduated.
with what.
Shout out to
he graduated too, right?
That's what we need.
He got the diploma. You feel me? Black excellence.
But I piggyback on that for real. Like that's something that needs, like I said, it's a conversation that needs to be had. Like a lot of people wouldn't have the balls to actually, put on a hat and go speak to Donald Trump because they know what the rest of the country thinks. Like, if I do this, like there was even like, I don't know if y'all seen recently, like Meek Mill was supposed to meet with Donald Trump about like prison reform and all that kind of stuff, but he didn't. Like Jay-Z told him that he shouldn't do it.
That's on deaf.
And I feel like
gonna fall on deaf ears. That
I mean, that you got to take
isn't...
that chance though. I feel like you could either just feel like, oh, it's not gonna happen, so let me not do it, or at least try and say, okay,
like,
at least I tried. Like
I get it. Like talking to the head, you feel me? The big fish is definitely a means of like trying to fix it, but I feel like we need to fix shit in our own community. You feel me? Like police our own communities, and before we can expect, like that's what I'm saying. Like Jewish people, they got their own shit, and I feel like if people like blacks, Latinos just realize, like if we get our own shit, take back our neighborhoods, then you feel me? Like when the police come and they act the fuck up, we record them. Guess what? We have a united front where we could be like, look, this motherfucker fucked up, and the whole community feels that way. You feel me? Like, I mean, it's not gonna be perfect, and it takes time. But other people have done it, and we can take those examples. You feel me? Like have a African American or you feel me, minority ambulance. You feel me? That don't head crack motherfuckers when shit happen. Like Jews, they have Jewish hospitals.
Yeah, and they have HBCUs.
Yeah, you feel me? We have HBCUs and all that good shit. Like we have that in education, but I feel like we need reform in like our communities where like.
Shit, that's probably where it should start.
That's what I'm saying.
HBCUs.
I mean, it could. I mean, I feel like a lot of the crime that happens in our communities is between us. Like one black man killing the next black man. So we need to fix that before we worry about.
Niggas is still killing each other over corners. Like I'll never forget. I'm in Brooklyn. I'm in Flatbush. I'm with these niggas. These niggas is 30 years old. These niggas is still trapping in the lobby, like the building lobby, out the mailbox. Like the shit is in the 90s. Like the shit, it boggled my mind. I couldn't for the life of me figure this shit out. I'm like, y'all niggas still doing this at 30, 35, about to be 40. Hey, you feel me? You can get it how you live, but that's what I'm saying. Like, we have to progress mentally and within ourselves before we can look for anybody else. Because Meek Mill at the same time, the nigga was still selling drugs and doing all that crazy shit and talking all that shit. Like, I get it. That's not him. That's not him no more. But you can't not look back at who you was before and be like, you know what? Maybe I should fix my own neighborhood, my own community.
But that's what will make him a good big fish to, like you were saying, to start that conversation. And same thing with Kanye. I felt like he went through his mental stuff, so he's able to be the big fish and like start that conversation, promote equality and love, stuff like that. So
it's one thing to go against the grain, but like, are you going against what you believe in? Also, and I can never do that as a man. I couldn't do that. I can't go against what I believe in. For I guess what he's saying is a bigger picture, but is that really gonna help the bigger picture? And think about it. Who are you talking to? You're talking to the president, but it's not like it's a regular president. It's not like it's the president from 4 years ago, or 8 years ago, or 12 years ago, or anything like that. You're talking to the worst. The stain on America's history, besides slavery being the number one stain, but a stain on America's history as far as electing this guy. And that's who you want to talk to. And you had Obama, like
How
4
you
years
go-
ago, bro. You could have just spoke to them.
He just got out of his mental state where he was going through that. So now is the time. I mean, I feel like it just so happened to be Donald Trump. It could have been the next white man on the street that became president. He would still have had the same
But I feel
conversation.
like,
but
but I feel like, I feel like the reason why there's so much uproar, like if you listen, like, cause we know this man for his music, so his content, like his language and the shit that he spoke about when he first came out to the nigga to that statement in TMZ is a complete 180. Like that is completely different. Like if you think Kanye, like if I told Kanye, like if we went back in time, we snatched that nigga with the polo and the Louis Vuitton backpack and all that shit, and we made him watch himself say that shit. You don't think that'll boggle his fucking mind? I can't. That's why like I'm mentally exhausted just like seeing that shit and hearing that conversation. So I can't imagine what kind of mental state he's in for that fact. Like not like 10 years ago, this thing was completely different. And what was it? Success? Success did that? I don't want it. I don't want it. You can keep all that shit. Nope. I'm not selling my soul. I'm not doing that. It might be Illuminati. I ain't gonna hold you. Like it really might be. Like,
that's always on the table. But we're gonna try to transition to the next. So we got another not really news topic. We're gonna go into Cardi B for the ladies, whoever's watching. You feel me? We had to do the lady side of it. Keep that interested.
All my beautiful black queens.
For real.
I'm trying to stop saying bitches, so I say black queens.
All right, so we're gonna talk a little bit about her beef with Azealia Banks, which is kind of recent. I don't know if y'all heard about that, but if not,
I seen the interview, but she's so irrelevant. I didn't want to watch it.
Yeah,
not gonna hold you.
And we're gonna see how. I mean, I guess we're just gonna discuss how she feel like. Well, how we feel about her in relationship to the youth, the hip hop, all that kind of stuff. So,
well, I seen a snippet of what Azealia Banks saying. Well, her thing, it was like how females were being portrayed in just music prior to Cardi B coming out and being hot, as far as like formation and all that shit.
Yeah, so she was
all that. Yeah. And that's true, like Cardi B, but like understand, like we have people that provide different things. Like Beyonce gives you Black Queen, all that good shit. You feel me? Like, and the information. Cardi B gives you Body Cardi, Bacon Head, and all the ratchet shit. Like it's a. I feel like everyone can coexist. I don't see why you have to make it your personal duty to speak for all black women. Like you can't do that because Cardi B is still a black woman at the end of the day. But she just comes from a different cloth.
I feel like Azealia Banks is more referring to the outlook in general. So I feel like, because she was saying like kind of like, just to kind of give like an overview of it, but she was kind of saying like she felt like the conversation about black women, period, but more specifically in hip hop, a couple years ago was positive when Beyonce came out with Lemonade and Formation and stuff, and it was kind of like more like woman empowerment, we don't need guys kind of thing, like we could do it, like. But now we feel like, now she feels like with Cardi B coming out, the conversation kind of like washed more down into what it used to be in terms of like girls are like ratchet, you need to be this and that to be in hip hop, that kind of stuff. So she just feels like it kind of got depleted from what it was from Beyonce through Cardi B.
What does Azealia Banks rap about? Do y'all know?
I never heard Azealia Banks' song. I don't know. I haven't heard if she was featured on.
Damn, that's fucked up. I haven't heard anything either. I thought y'all was gonna help me on that.
And that's what I'm saying. Like I only know through tweets and snaps and like the occasional blog,
occasional beef that she stirs up with everybody.
And she literally has nothing nice to say about mostly anybody.
I've heard a snippet like on Twitter of some shit, and it seems like she's lyrical and she could spit. So maybe that's why she's so like bitter when it comes to. Like I
said, I'm in a better space right now where I'm not referring to women as bitches and shit. Like I'm really trying to appreciate my black queens out here, but at the same time, like she's negative Nancy. Like she's super negative. Like I feel like there's space for like I said, there's space for everybody. I want everybody to be great. So. Yeah, you feel me? Right now, what's hot is Cardi B talking about cheating and violating niggas. But guess what? When Beyonce come out with her next shit, niggas gonna be right back on it. I listen to fucking Lil Baby, and then right after, I turn on 444 to get my enlightenment. Like,
hold on. I got a quote from Beyonce. Ladies, leave your man at home. The club is full of ballers and their pockets are full grown. That's not some cheating shit right there. Yeah, that's not some cheating shit right now. Yeah, exactly.
You feel me? But that's what I'm saying. Like even her career,
it's been the same shit.
She's definitely like all women do it, and you talking about and like for her, she's like, oh, we're Latino light women. She try to make it a whole race thing. I'm lumping them all together.
She been doing that.
Yeah, and that's fucked up too. But
As a matter of fact, Azealia Banks said that.
People going against your Beyonce quote right now. They're not
Word?
liking on my live. They said
Word?
she never talk about
Yo,
cheating.
she dead said that shit.
But
I mean, they all said it. Michelle,
said
how they
that
all
shit.
said it.
They all said that
unison.
shit.
I'm a DJ. I heard it.
Azealia Banks also came at Cardi because she said she figured that Cardi was going to be like the new rapping J-Lo type shit, and now she like a fake Nicki Minaj. So this not like her first time coming at Cardi. Like she just stirs up shit, and not to mention that she just dropped a new song. I saw it on her Instagram because
It's so convenient how niggas have so much shit to say when new music come out.
I only saw it on her Instagram because she was also beefing with Tiana Taylor.
I saw that too. Yeah,
I saw her thing
Over
from
the
Tiana Taylor.
choreography,
Yeah,
you better leave that
type shit.
She's perfect. You better leave her alone.
So let me say that
No
just
Tiana
to play the devil's advocate as usual, because I don't want us all to be on one side of it. But I feel like, because I was talking to my baby about this earlier. Shout out to Asia, I know you watching. But I was basically telling her that
Married man over
basically we're a little bit, you know, just a little bit. Nah. But yeah. I was kind of telling her, and just I guess in comparison, one, I don't feel like it's fair to compare Beyonce and Cardi B. That's one. But if we were to, just in the case of Azealia Banks, I feel like she's more thinking about the youth. So in terms of if I had a daughter, or if any of us had a daughter, like we wouldn't want Cardi B to be the person that they're looking up to in terms of what she portrays in her music. We would want Beyonce to be that kind of person. Not because Cardi's a bad person, because she came from the hood, she's a stripper, that was her path, but we'd rather people look at Beyonce's path and the way she's representing herself as opposed to the way Cardi B is.
Yeah, but look at the upbringings though, like it's completely different where Cardi B says she quit school, like she was going to BMCC, she quit school and started stripping at Sue's, where Beyonce was doing pageants from an early age with other girls.
It's not the process, it's how you act when you get to the top. Like,
the message that you send out.
Like I could sell drugs to get to the top, but once you get to the top, how are you gonna speak to the youth? Like how are you gonna use your spot now?
I ain't gonna hold you. I don't want Cardi talking about no uplifting. Like, I don't get up 10 is cool,
again,
but
I'm playing devil's advocate.
Yeah, I feel you, but there's no way she could hit me with some, like if she hit me with like a Formation type album. First of all, Invasion of Privacy is fire. If she hit me with like a Formation type album or Lemonade, like I'm really gonna be on some. Well, the album is Lemonade. Like I'm really gonna be on like, what the fuck is she talking about? Like this is not her life. You feel me? Like this wasn't your life. This is not what we know you for. You feel me? And at the same time, she's not 100% writing all of her content. So understand, like she has an image to uphold, and I still respect her for what she does, even though it's not all Cardi, even though it's not all the way positive. You feel me? But like I said, it's all about balance, my nigga.
No, I feel
you could drink Douce and have a salad.
I get what y'all saying.
Balance.
I get what y'all saying about. I get what you're saying, Marcus, about the whole like, because I don't really fuck with Cardi's message only because I know that it's so many. Like I hear so many little girls like rapping and shit, and it's like, damn, if I had a daughter, I really wouldn't want her. I wouldn't want them to rap that shit. But it's like you said, I respect everybody's grind. Even when like back in the day when it came to Soulja Boy and I rap, so it's like, all right, this ain't the most like thinking shit that I want to hear, but I ain't got more money than me. You gotta respect it. Yeah. Cardi got more money than a lot of niggas out here that's still playing that block life. 35 years old in the lobby. So you gotta respect her grind, you feel me? But the message, if I had a daughter, it'd just be like, nah, I don't really want you banging that, because, you know, people get influenced by the music. I was influenced. We're all influenced by the music we listened to growing up, you feel me? And that music will influence the next generation. Yep. And you gotta think about that when you're an artist. I know you think about the check and shit, you wanna get your money and bounce. But if you're really about the shit and you're really about the art, you really gotta think about that message and that influence that you have over the youth. You feel me? So I get what Zillion's saying a little bit.
Yeah. I got a couple. Well, unless you got something to say, it's going to be the last couple points I make on this. But the acting response.
Talk basketball, nigga.
We about to get there. We about to get there.
I mean, matter of fact, my only point is on the real. Trina, Lil Kim, Foxy Brown, Missy, all of them low key talk the same type of shit in different ways. You feel me?
Is it a driving factor though?
Yeah,
Trina, but not
sexualism.
I feel like they all had their time where they faced those complaints from people. Like,
yeah, and that's what I'm saying. Yeah, they're gonna do this with all female rappers. You feel me? Like, especially like Nicki Minaj with the whole itty biggie. Like bro, like every female rapper do it. Like they can evolve later. Like Missy definitely evolved and become their own and find their new sound. But like to get in the game, most of the time, this is what these bitches is doing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They squatting and they ass cheeks is out. Like, I'm sorry, these what these queens is doing out here. They squatting. I'm trying to stop. I
didn't think he was going to correct that. I didn't think he was going to catch it.
The last point on this, I feel like, because this is something that I read from Cardi B when she responded to Azealia Banks, is that she didn't ask for fame. Like, she didn't ask to be famous. She didn't ask to be a role model for people. Like, your audience makes you get to that point. So I feel like she doesn't feel like she needs to. People pushed her to the top, and now she got to act the way people wanted her to act. No, she's gonna act the way she always wanted to act. But I feel like, so I feel like the main point of this conversation in Cardi B's favor is that I feel like the empowerment of women is all about your individuality, like how you want to act as a person. Like, you shouldn't conform to what guys may think y'all are, what society, mom, dad, or no matter what that is. Like, same thing for guys. But I feel like Cardi B is embracing that, her being herself, the individuality, like not fitting into what everybody wants her to be, but she's going to be herself and she's going to rock out that way. So
no, I feel you. I always promote being yourself, and I definitely get what she means. Where she didn't ask for the fame, she was herself before the fame with all the videos and shit. She was just being herself. I mean, now that the cameras is on and shit, it's like she just being herself again. But as far as
not that she didn't ask for fame, I mean, you definitely out here trolling and loving hip hop, like all that shit gets attention. So it's not that she didn't do it for the fame, but the magnitude in where she's at right now, being like
to have the influence,
like basically to influence so many people. She never really asked for that. She just wanted to make her coins and be who she was. And now she has a responsibility as well, and all that shit is cool. But like I said, like I don't ever want to hear Cardi drop a Lemonade type album, bro. Like I mean, not right now. Like years from now, later when she's like filming on her 4th kid with Offset, whatever baby daddy she with. That's cool, but but not right now, bro. Like, I ain't
yeah, she don't need to do that. But all right, so the time that we invited Trent here for, because we really don't care about his opinion or not. Nah, I'm fucking but yeah, it's sports time, so I'm gonna let you could take this section of Oliver in terms of introducing.
All right, so so right now we're talking about the state of NBA. Which team is the future of the NBA? I feel like that's obviously my Knicks, because you feel me, I'm a long-time Knicks fan. But we gonna indulge. You're not gonna make. I'm not trying to be biased right now. So state of NBA, future of the NBA. Who's next up? Because LeBron old and he looking old right now.
I'll let Marcus start.
He's playoffs. What's up?
Let Marcus start.
I mean, nobody's overtaking LeBron right now. I feel like he kind of established himself as the guy. But once he's gone, I feel like there's a lot of great youthful stars in the league. I know KD's getting up there in age, but Greek, can't even think of people right now. Kawhi still, if he could bounce back from injury. KP's around, AD, Joel Embiid, who I'm a huge fan of. Ben Simmons is around as well. But I feel like the NBA is in good hands in terms of individual players, but I feel like team is definitely between Celtics and Philly. And I'm going to lean towards the Celtics. In general, for me, in terms of the future of the NBA, yeah. I definitely take the Celtics in terms of the future team of the NBA.
When hasn't the Celtics not been the future of the NBA? Since Paul Pierce was, after Paul Pierce had to carry everything by himself, they became the future of the NBA because they're the ones who got the 3 All-Stars and put them together. And that's when LeBron was like, all right, well, maybe I need to do that too. And now they're like, oh, we can rebuild and sign good players and
niggas
raise
taking
all of these players.
These niggas is rebuilding, getting high draft picks and killing motherfuckers.
Danny Ainge is just a beast. Like he's a beast. So I definitely think the Celtics are the future of the NBA. I want to say the Knicks are the future of the NBA, but
typical.
We'll see what happens.
First of all, for everyone listening, nigga Marcus was a Knicks fan before the season started.
I can't anybody listening
after the draft.
If you ever hear Marcus talk about,
you're not gonna hear me talk about
dub him.
I'm a New York sports fan, but I'm not. I don't claim myself as a Knicks fan anymore.
He was a Knicks fan. He used to make videos about the Knicks.
What it was,
and now it's just like it's a dub.
It doesn't make sense.
And we not taking him back
because after we drafted Frank, right?
Yeah, this past draft I wasn't with.
Out of all people,
I'm not saying Frank is trash, but the culture of like I'm so shout out to David Fisdale because I'm so happy they hired him, but I feel like he's
take that for data.
Like seriously, but he's the kind of guy that the Knicks need, like that kind of like gritty defense, like that kind of like dog. And I feel like for us to draft Frank Ntilikina, I feel like he's not a dog. Like I feel like he's like another guy you could just throw in a rotation in terms of his mindset, his attitude, and his game. Like, I feel like watching Dennis Smith down in Dallas, he's a dog. Like, so for us to pass up a Knicks caliber player, like a player that will fit with the Knicks culture, I feel like it's not.
Dennis Smith Jr. is a dog.
You can look at his game and know that he's a dog.
Wow,
he's a highlight machine. He's super athletic. He competes he's that kind of player.
Is he really good though?
He's really good.
In terms of when I'm watching, for his first year in the league, I feel like he's
that kid's special. That kid's special. I mean,
looking up numbers.
You can look at rookie season numbers if you want.
If you look at stats,
you can look at his impact on the court. Like,
it's not even fair because he was starting. So the stats you're gonna lose because he played a lot more. He got more minutes and like he shined. He shined at certain points. Like the Mavericks is just super trash, but he definitely had a good season.
Bally said Frank is trash.
Gave him more of an opportunity.
We were trash too. How come we ain't start Frank? We were garbage, bro.
No. Oh yeah, we could talk about that because our coaching was just fucking terrible, bro. Jeff Hornacek, Frank Ntilikina played probably the least amount of minutes with KP. I saw that stat. The least amount. Your future, your two last draft picks. Well, two last supposedly good draft picks. Played the least amount of time, and we're supposed to be preparing for our future. And they didn't play together at all. Not to mention Frank Ntilikina is just known already after a first year as a good defender.
Yeah.
As a good defender in the league. And then somehow Marcus is just not behind him at all. After 1 year.
Now, once we drafted him, Marcus,
let's swerve away from the Knicks. Let's swerve away from the Knicks.
Not because
who's the future? I mean, I know Bally hit me on IG and throughout Donovan Mitchell as well, who
let's go
over that real quick. Rookie of the year. Who you got rookie of the year? Real quick.
I gotta give it to Donovan.
Donovan, who you got?
Ben.
Yeah, I definitely got Ben Simmons.
He's a red shirt, bro.
That doesn't
mean anything.
Listen, the definition of a rookie is playing your first season.
Cool.
Like that's it. Like until they change that, we could talk about Donovan Mitchell. They didn't.
Exactly.
So Ben Simmons had a better.
Donovan Mitchell is the man on his team.
Donovan Mitchell is the scorer. That's great.
Yeah. Put Jason Tatum on Utah, and they need that much scoring. He's gonna score that much.
Scorers at a premium in the NBA. Like easily. I feel like being a scorer is not much. I feel like it's still. I mean, I'm not trying to say it's easy to score. Like I'm gonna go in the game and get 20 because I'm probably get 2, probably less than that. But I'm saying the more you can do on the court is what makes you the greater player to me. And I feel like Ben Simmons can do so much on the court. Which is the same thing about LeBron, but we're gonna get into that later.
He still averaged 17. The person that can't shoot still averaged 17. So how you not gonna give it to him?
I mean, yeah, because he's playing point guard. He's bigger than everybody that's guarding him.
All right.
We just watched the Celtics series where they put Al Horford on Ben Simmons, and other teams have done that as well. He's been playing against bigger people. Nobody's going to watch him like, oh, he's Ben Simmons, but I'm just going to leave Earl Boykins on him. Who cares? No, they're going to switch. Nobody's going to guard him.
No, exactly, because on a pick and roll, it's unguardable. The point guard guarding me is 6'4", at least no taller than 6'4".
But they're switching.
6'10".
They're switching matchups.
Exactly.
Yeah, they're switching.
When the big switches on me, we the same height, and I play like a point guard. It's
unfair. So it's unfair when Steph Curry's doing it too. Then
he's just supporting our thing. Like that's how he eats, bro. Like soon as that switch off comes, he's attacking, and it's
switching
over.
Period is giving the other team a advantage. Like,
and if you don't switch, he has the advantage either way. Ben Simmons is just who would you rather have as a GM? I'm taking Ben, and you're taking Ben. You gonna pass up on LeBron?
Issues, but. So the next topic in sports we're gonna do is so we in the midst of the playoffs right now. Cleveland's down 0-2 to the Celtics. Then it's tied up in the West with Houston and Golden State. Who you got in the finals? Kind of looking ahead because that's gonna be by next show we're gonna be in the finals already. So
I already know.
Who you got in the finals?
I got Boston and Golden State in the finals.
Boston,
I feel like that's a better series to be honest.
Same. I got Boston and the Warriors.
I'm not counting Cleveland out yet. I still think.
LeBron.
No. But let me tell you why. Because I feel like people see Cleveland down 0-2 right now and they're like, oh, they done. No, but y'all fail to notice that who's better, the Bucks or the Cavs? I feel like it's pretty obvious question.
Cavs.
Yeah, Cavs is better.
Yeah.
The Bucks are down 0-2 to the Celtics first round, came back 4-7. But y'all feel like the Cavs can't do that?
They won?
No, they can.
But the point,
they can't win.
They saying people counting them off like they're done. Like it's like they down 4-0 right now. They down 2-0. They was down 2-0 to the Bucks.
I think you're only looking at the series number and not what's going on the court. Like that's why people are counting them out. That's the reason.
At
not
the same
because
time, they didn't get
to
play. They didn't get to play at home. Like The Celtics are garbage on the road and great at home. So like J.R. Smith hit 6 for 6. Well, 6 for 6 last game at home on like shooting the ball. Like, so let them have a chance to go home before you count them. If they go down 3-0,
Ronnie Hood gonna shoot 12 for 12 at home. You heard it here first.
No, I'm not.
I'm saying,
Rodney, I'm sorry, Rodney.
I am telling you, even if Cleveland wins both games at home, I'm telling you, I don't see them winning the series because right now it's LeBron against 6 motherfucking people.
Man, here we go.
And
listen,
he's by himself.
You don't count out the greatest player.
He has no help.
But
he has no help. And I know this is a constant argument that we have on social media.
I know they had Kyrie, so I feel like that's what switches it up. But that's what
LeBron ain't making his teammates better.
We're gonna say that for the next.
No, I'm dead serious.
Who we going into now? So the infamous debate that's been going on lately is Jordan versus LeBron. I feel like we might be it's 3 of us, so we're not gonna be split. But I feel like this is an argument that me and Trent always do on Facebook through social media. Period. So I guess it's something we're gonna talk about. We're gonna start with you, O, so you could get your.
I be like everything.
Who you got, Bron or Jordan, in terms of greatest player of all time?
Nah,
or if you have somebody else who's the greatest player of all time.
MJ's the GOAT. MJ is definitely the GOAT.
Why so?
I just feel like his overall dominance of the game, in which like he was super consistent and giving out astronomical numbers, and like in moments like these where like you have to win, you have to outperform, and LeBron does it as well. Like in game 2 after losing game 1 that the nigga gonna drop 45, but I feel like MJ would have dropped 50 on game 1 anyway. You see what I mean? Like he's super consistent in that way, and just like hearing stories like I'll never forget like in an MJ interview, nigga say he was guarding MJ, he made a bucket, he said, "I 48," and then he scored a bucket again, "I 46." And the nigga, wait, he's counting down. What happens when he gets to 0? Like the nigga trying to score 50 on you. Like that is a crazy mentality. Like, and LeBron is a better passer and he's bigger, stronger. But just like in the overall essence, like the point of the game is to score more than the other team. MJ did that with great ease, and he did it remarkably. And he was just like, I don't know, like he just made basketball fun for me.
All right. Like, so I'm gonna throw it to Trent because I know he on the same end as you. So I'm gonna let him.
Michael Jordan is definitely the greatest player of all time. We are not even close to seeing somebody touch Michael Jordan.
I'm not talking rings. I'm not talking rings. I'm not even gonna throw that argument out there.
When it comes, I won't mention him going 6 for 6 and not going into a game 7 in the finals.
We're gonna see.
I'm not mentioning that at all. I'm gonna mention just his dominance over the game because that's what people that are fans of LeBron like to mention. So I'll mention Michael Jordan, numerous All-Star games, numerous All-NBA defensive teams year in and year out, All-NBA teams year in, year out. He averaged 30 for his whole entire career with 6 rebounds and 5 assists. It's not far off of LeBron's rebounds and assist career numbers, averaging as far. So I'm going to just kill that argument right there. Michael Jordan was just a dope. Like nobody else played like Michael Jordan. Nobody else had that effect on the other team. And even when it comes to LeBron, I still don't think he's the closest to having an effect on the other team, on the opposite team. For me, the closest to Michael Jordan was Steph Curry before KD when it comes to having an effect on another team, really scaring another team as soon as you get on the court, to just mentally killing them.
Nigga pass half court.
Exactly, because Steph, as soon as he passed half court, teams change their whole entire game plan. Or they're wondering when is he going to shoot, if he's going to shoot from half court. That's why I said he's the closest to having that effect on the opposite team. LeBron is passive aggressive. We all know that. He's not in the mentality that Michael had or Shaq had or Kobe had or anybody like that. I just ride with Michael Jordan, man. It's not a lot of flaws in his game.
I just want to add something to my argument. I feel like there's no reason why. I feel like there's no reason why like they can't have separate, like LeBron's definitely the greatest of our generation. You feel me? Because like we definitely watched him. Like I mean that's also debatable, I guess. But as far as
debatable, he's the greatest of our generation.
From our generation, like I feel like that's a plausible argument. But nah, I don't. As far as the GOAT, like the nigga like who should be the next logo, it gotta be Andre.
All right. So I'm gonna just start off my argument. What I always say is that my definition of what a better basketball player is.
He has to say that.
So the person, sorry, for example, let's do an example, right? Let's do an example, right? If I call you the best chef, I feel like that's saying that you can make the most food, the greatest. Like you get what I'm saying? Like you can make the most and make all of it great.
Mm-hmm.
If I say you're the best bodybuilder, you can lift the most weight. You can do all these exercises at a great level. So we're taking it back to LeBron. LeBron James is the best player to ever live that can do everything, is what I'm trying to say. Jordan couldn't do what LeBron could do on the court. I don't have to talk about stats. I don't have to talk about rings, playoff appearances, all-stars, none of that. Put in two players on the court who can do the most. LeBron James can do the most. That makes him a better basketball player. You can do the most with the basketball. So I don't understand how that gets misconstrued in terms of like being a better basketball player. Like that asks what you can do on the court. What's your question?
All right. If you can do the most on the basketball court, I get what you're saying. I think you're speaking towards athleticism and what LeBron's advantage as far as being 6'8". Yes, it does, because you're 6'8", and you see over the defense. But
height is athleticism?
No. But I'm just saying this is all context.
You can't take that away from somebody because
you have to put this context in there.
You can't.
Magic Johnson was 6'9", bro.
But
you gotta take that into context.
You can't take that away. You can't take that. Oh, now you're gonna blame.
I'm not taking it away from him. I'm not taking it away from him. I'm saying you have to put context in this, my guy.
I think it's an added.
You have to.
Him being 6'8" has nothing to do with pinpoint passes. It's not like he's throwing it over the defense. He's throwing it through defense, through niggas' legs. Like he's doing Magic Johnson's passes.
Nah.
And he's like 30 pounds heavier than him.
Well, I feel like, and this is why the reason why I hate this comparison.
I'm a LeBron hater, by the way.
Clearly.
I am.
The reason why I hate this comparison is just like the era in which we're playing. Like
that has nothing to do with your skill as a basketball player.
No. Like these are like the top skilled players to ever play. But I just feel like as far as the era, like imagine LeBron playing with like Oakley and like actual enforcers
and imagine Jordan in this era. Imagine Jordan in this era.
Jordan be scoring 60.
Yeah, he be
first of all.
There's way more possessions in the game now.
Yeah, and there's way better defenders as well than it ever has been in the NBA.
There's way more possessions in the game now.
The skill level in the NBA right now is way larger than it ever been ever. Jordan really didn't have to go against lockdown defender night after night after night.
What? There was more hand checking and there was not
more
stuff called at all.
Play. There was more
they weren't
play,
lockdown defenders, but they were allowed to defend better. When he gets to the rim,
they're gonna knock him on his ass. Yeah, but if he's shooting jump shots all game, what they gonna do? Oh, hand check. He's still gonna swish. Like when you go to the rim, they can knock him down. Shooting a jump shot.
Jump shots don't transition into today's game.
I'm talking about defenders. The level of contest will be on his shots is way different than it would be back in the day. There was nobody guarding him. Who was guarding him?
There was lockdown defenders
especially in these finals that everybody like to talk about. He played the Jazz twice, faced John Hornacek, some white man that's Jeff.
Don't disrespect
Jeff. John Jacob doesn't matter.
Cannot
guard Michael Jordan. Some white man that's trying to guard him.
Ex-coach.
He played the who else? He played the Sonics. Gary Payton was guarding him. What 4 or 5 inches shorter than him.
You gonna blame him for that? Like you told me?
But you can blame LeBron.
Like you told me? Like you told me?
But you can't blame him for that? Too short.
You gonna blame him?
Of course. It always
the glove was guarding him. What you said? How many? That's three.
LeBron going up against in the finals. Besides the Mavericks, when he lost the Mavericks the first time, he went against elite defenders every time.
I mean, the finals.
Jason Terry guarded him.
But think about
I said excluding that one.
Besides
that, he's playing. Yeah,
Jason Terry guarded him.
The road, bro. The road, though. He
Jason Terry guarded him.
He had to get through our Knicks in the 90s.
And then when he got to the
lockdown defenders, all on the Knicks.
LeBron's path was easier, but his finals were harder.
LeBron made his path easier. That's why I hate on LeBron.
How does
he said, that beast in the Raptors. That beast over there on the Raptors, I can't play against you, bro. Come on. We need you to go on this team right here with me, D-Wade.
Yeah, I guess
you probably could get some more help, too, and make it a little... And Paul Pierce didn't do that. Danny Ainge did that. Danny Ainge did that.
Of course. When it comes to LeBron, you blame LeBron. When it comes to somebody else, you blame the owner of the team.
LeBron is not just a player. LeBron thinks he's bigger than being just a player, bro.
And I'm pretty sure when they got KG and Ray Allen to the team, I'm pretty sure they spoke to Paul Pierce and say, "Oh, what do you think about this?" They didn't just say, "Oh, F what you think."
They asked him what he thought about it. Paul Pierce didn't say, "Yo, go get them. I need this, that, and the third. I need that."
Yeah,
you know that's what your boy do, bro. Any logical,
I know he has control over that, but every star player does.
Yo, but nobody has ever made their path taking the easy way out as much as LeBron.
Like I said, LeBron's path to the finals was harder, but his finals were harder than Jordan's. Jordan's path was harder, but his finals were easier. So that's why y'all love to exclude him getting freaking beaten, swept in the first round and losing in the first round a couple of times and the second round.
Bro, he was.
Yeah, nobody talks about that. But y'all
wasn't
can
he
definitely
Dolo?
talk about that. LeBron was Dolo on the Cavs and took a bum squad to the finals.
Didn't he lose second round also? Multiple times.
What's worse? What's worse to y'all?
It's not worse. You don't get a
you
chip.
calling yourself the greatest of all time, but losing in the first round, or you being the greatest of all time, losing
in the first. Yo, so you can't have levels. You can't just be like, yo, the nicest person on your team with no teammates and lose in the first round and then become the greatest player ever. That can't happen.
But nobody talks about his first round losses, but they want to always talk about LeBron's
because what's more important, the first round losses or being 6 for 6 in the finals? Which one are you going to talk about?
Nobody ever cares.
Which one are you going to talk about? I don't talk about LeBron's. Has he ever lost yeah, he lost in the second round like 2-3 times.
Yeah, he lost.
And I never mention that. I don't mention that at all.
But nobody cares.
Because nobody cares exactly. Nobody cares about Michael Jordan's first round losses.
If LeBron was 6-0 in the finals, y'all would definitely nitpick at the second round.
If LeBron was 6-0 in the finals, I would call him the greatest player ever.
So all right, so you exactly. So that's my problem with Jordan. People arguing Jordan is that they take into account rings, and that has nothing to do with you as a player.
No, because if LeBron
rings
was 6-0,
is a team accomplishment. That's a
combined with everything else that he's done. Yeah, he'd be the greatest player ever.
That shouldn't come into account about how great of a player that.
Why not, bro? You made it 8 times. If you didn't make it 8 times, bro, then I wouldn't talk about it.
80 points a game, but my team sucks, I'm gonna lose no matter how great of a player I am.
That means you're trash. That's like Russell Westbrook. That's the Russell Westbrook thing.
If I score 80 points, if I get an 80-point triple double,
that means your IQ is bad.
And I'm averaging that for the finals, but we still lose. That means that I'm trash, or that means that some gotta be wrong.
That means your IQ is down because you like, yo, let me not change this up.
If I'm scoring 80 points, the rest of the team can't score 40 for us to win. That makes me trash.
Why can't they score 45? Because you're trying to score 80 and get a triple double, bro. You on some Russell Westbrook thing right now, bro. We could talk about that.
I mean, we're just going to agree to disagree on that, I guess. I don't know. I feel like it's pretty, to me, like I said, my definition is always who can do more with on the basketball court, and LeBron could just do more.
He also throws all these stats that LeBron is going to like overcome Jordan and like he doesn't mention that LeBron like started at 18, Jordan started at like 21.
I don't care about stats at all. I'm talking about from that.
So you say individual things. Individual stuff, not the chips. So because those are stats, points, assists, rebounds, steals, and all of that.
Yeah, because that shows your value as a player.
I'm not gonna go in the free agency market and say, well, I got 3 rings, so pay me $60 million a year. No, they're gonna say, okay, I'm a 45% 3-point shooter. I'm shooting 60% from field. Okay, that's gonna pay me.
You bugging.
I'm not saying those are his stats.
I'm saying like in the free agency, they're gonna take the 3-time champion off the rip, even if you're not even nice. Even if you was just a role player.
People don't get paid.
Even if you was just a role player,
people
bro.
don't get paid off of rings. If that's the case, D-Wade would be getting banked right now. If D-Wade could go to somebody and say, listen, I'm 38, but I got 3 rings. He's not going to get paid the same as, okay, I'm 38 and I'm averaging 25 and 10. I'm going to take the 25 and 10 D-Wade.
The whole 38 though, that comes into
that's what I'm saying. Like, if you 38 and still producing, you're the better player than somebody who has 3 rings and used to produce.
Yeah,
but that's what I'm saying. It's not the rings don't matter in
context a little bit, but that's D-Wade off of his Miami Heat. Matter of fact, that Mike Miller off his Miami Heat days, he's getting paid because he played a great role in the chips,
because he's
bro.
A sniper. If he was doo-doo and had 3 rings, he would not be getting paid.
Yo, who's that dude? Who's that dude from Villanova?
Boy.
Who's the dude from Villanova? No, of course you can't be doo-doo and you can't
exactly.
get paid.
That shows that it's not about rings to show your value as a player.
Bro, if you have an effect on the finals, bro, you're gonna get paid. just like the dude from Villanova who just went crazy. We only saw one game he had, and that was in the finals of the NCAA tournament. Now he's mid first round or late first round pick, bro.
Because of his production, it doesn't matter. It doesn't, if he shot 45% from from the 62 to go to the Final Four, he still would have got paid the same amount he's getting now that he did it in the finals. It's the same thing.
He was producing all NCAA tournament.
Yeah, I'm saying that body of work before means more than
he shined in a pressure moment, which is he just had to shake his head on that one. Because his guy don't shine.
Because that's all y'all talk about is that he just hit 2 game winners in this video that we just watched.
The score was tied. The score was tied. There was no pressure.
Always nitpick.
There was no pressure.
He hit a game winner. Oh, the game was tied. But listen. Okay, listen. Let me ask you a question.
You know there's no pressure.
Let me ask the people at home. Whoever's watching, I'm gonna ask you a question too for you. I'm gonna order you how to answer this. So let's say the game was tied. LeBron missed the game winner. He missed. They go to overtime and they lose. What's going to be the story in the morning? What's going to be the story in the morning?
This is why LeBron not the GOAT.
LeBron's not clutch. LeBron didn't hit it. But if he hits the shot, he's not clutch. If he don't hit the shot, he's not clutch. So just take the night off, LeBron. Don't come to work. Don't tie your sneakers. Just go to Barbados, lay with your wife and your kids.
I think he
because it just doesn't matter.
I mean, I let y'all niggas argue. You feel me? But I feel like I really feel like this is another conversation. They're two completely different players, both from a physical and mental standpoint.
One was a lockdown defender.
One is a versatile defender that can guard 5 positions.
Yo, that's a myth.
Yeah,
that's a myth. He has never guarded a center. He has never guarded a center ever.
Right. He did.
Ever. Successfully who?
I've definitely seen him guard Marc Gasol before several times.
Who?
Not this season's Marc Gasol. When Marc Gasol was Marc Gasol, he used to guard Marc Gasol.
What, in a one game they played in the season? In the one game they played, you saw that?
So even he can guard 4 positions. Jordan can guard. All right,
and Jordan can guard 3.
All right, so it's still more. He still can do more. It doesn't matter. And you say, the assist or rebound gap is not that much. It doesn't matter if it's not that much. LeBron can do more. That's it.
No, LeBron does more. It doesn't mean that Michael Jordan can't do more. He chose not to. He was the scoring leader. That was his role, bro. His role wasn't to get triple doubles, bro.
You're right.
I mean, like I feel like we could do this forever. Like there's really no argument here.
All NBA first team, all defense. LeBron never.
It's exhausting having this. I have this
That's
argument.
Player of the year.
What's our last topic?
So the last one, you feel me? Steph Curry, you talking about the babyface assassin? You feel me? Your twin. Is he a beneficiary of the Warriors, or are the Warriors beneficiary of Steph?
You asking me?
I mean, it's for everybody. I'm gonna go last.
All right, the Warriors are definitely. I think it gets a little swept under the rug now because they have KD. They have such a strong scorer and shit like that.
That's definitely one of my points.
But the Warriors are definitely a benefit from having Steph Curry on the floor. Their record is not as good, even with the addition of KD, without Steph and Curry. I know people say Draymond drives the team, but he drives the team emotionally. As far as offense goes, Steph Curry is the driving force behind the Warriors. The game changes as soon as he's in the game because defenders have to account for him more than they have to account for anybody else. KD doesn't run off as many screens as Steph. Steph can pretty much, when healthy, do the same thing as KD can as far as get you an isolation bucket. But KD doesn't run off as many screens, so he has more effect on the defense than anybody, I think, in the whole entire league. So the Warriors are definitely... Plus, he started this whole thing. It's like, I know they say Mark Jackson implemented the system and Steve Kerr perfected it. They were only allowed to do that because of Stephen Curry. They weren't allowed to. They couldn't be allowed to play this way without Stephen Curry. So yeah, the Warriors benefit from him. Just check the records, man.
I mean, I want to start my argument off by saying that I feel like Steph Curry is the greatest shooter to ever play. Try not to be a prisoner at the moment, but in terms of shooting off the dribble, spotting up, free throws, mid range,
Distance.
teardrops, whatever. Yeah, from
Range.
wherever he shoots half court shots, and we like, oh, that's good. Like we have that kind of expectations from him. But I'm kind of not a fan of Steph Curry because I feel like he's a one trick pony in terms of I don't think players are that good if you could take one part of their game away and then they won't be able to function or they won't be as effective as an NBA player. Like I feel like you need to be able to do more than one thing. I feel like, and for me, I feel like if you take away Steph Curry shooting, he'll probably be a 6 man somewhere. Like I feel like he'll be a starter. So that's my opinion. Like I feel like he's specifically on the court for shooting. Like when his jump shot's not falling, Steph Curry is nowhere to be found. Like he's not about to go break somebody down off the dribble. Like he's not about to do that. Like if his jump shot's not falling, he's not getting into the paint because people are not gonna be worried about his jump shot. Like so that's how I feel about Steph Curry. But in terms of the system, I feel like it's kind of mutually beneficial in my opinion. I feel like the shooters around Steph definitely does make his job easier. Obviously, like I'm pretty sure if KD or Klay wasn't on the floor, like teams can really lock in on him a lot more. He's not super athletic or anything like that, so it's not like he's gonna like bully somebody in the paint or anything like that. He kind of has to use finesse in his game. But I kind of feel like it's kind of mutually beneficial. I kind of feel like if Steph wasn't on the team, it would like the same kind of effect. Like it would kind of like shrink the floor a lot more. It wouldn't be as much spacing. And like Trent said, like I feel like you have to pick Steph Curry up once he passes half court. So I feel like even that alone allows more passing lanes in terms of getting cuts. But we was also talking about this. Just one last thing before I throw it to like I feel like he kind of benefits from the defenders on his team. I feel like in terms of like steals, I feel like all those passing lane steals come from good rotation from your team. Like I feel like if Klay wasn't such a good Klay and Draymond, let's say Klay and Draymond's in a pick and roll, I feel like they're both great pick and roll defenders. So once they make that dumb pass out of it, Steph can shoot that gap because they're doing such a great job guarding the pick and roll. But if they were doing a lousy job guarding, it would just be a layup every time. It wouldn't be those passing opportunities for them to shoot the gap and steal it, get a layup or that kind of stuff. So that's in that regard, I kind of feel like the Warriors kind of benefit him. But again, I just feel like they're kind of mutual beneficial for me.
All right. Well,
somebody said he's a unanimous MVP. Just throw that out there.
Who?
When Steph.
You say he wasn't? Or
No, he was.
He was.
Oh yeah.
Yep, first unanimous.
I mean, that season was incredible to watch. Like to watch him kill motherfuckers, like just shooting the ball is ridiculous. But I feel like it's definitely the way the Warriors are beneficial to Steph Curry. Like their offense can't exist without him. You feel me? Like I mean, they play a different style. And they're still a really good team. But as far as the spacing involved, it's like, and I'm not a coach, whatever. Like I just watch the shit and I play the ball for a little bit and I'm whack. But just watching these motherfuckers play, like, and even watching like the Houston series and stuff like that. Defensively, if I was Houston, if I'm a coach, if I'm Mike D'Antoni, I'm doubling KD every time he touches the ball. I have no one that can guard him. But I can't because you have like Draymond and Andre are two inconsistent shooters. So even if they space the floor, if they kill me at the 3-point line, fuck it, I'm taking that L. But when you got Klay and Steph Curry and KD, those three people that could kill you. And I feel like Steph Curry is the main reason why KD went. If it was just Klay, Draymond, and Andre, he might as well stay with Russ. Steph Curry is a unanimous MVP, a 2-time MVP. Like, there's no argument. He is definitely what makes the Warriors possible. Like, there's no argument. So I'm definitely going with the later. The Warriors benefit from Steph Curry. That light-skinned nigga ball. And KD's a bitch still. I hate the fact that he's on that team. It's not fair. I feel like this series would have been so much more compelling if it was just Klay and Steph and whatever small forward they could have got through free agency, whether it be Rudy Gay. I don't care who. Like whoever they could have got through free agency. But with KD being there, like it's not even fair. It's not even fair.
You gotta when you answer this question, you can't look at the season now. You gotta look at that unanimous MVP season or the season before that, before they got KD. Because that's who Steph is. Steph is not allowed to be Steph right now. And just to piggyback off what Marcus said, he said that if you take one thing away from Steph, then, you know, he can't. Like, that's pretty much the same thing for all NBA players. But Steph Curry, Steph Curry before KD got there was pretty much flirting with triple doubles every other night. He's a great rebounding guard. I know you could probably be like, yo, you benefit from
that's
whatever.
another beneficiary of the great defense. Yeah, you forcing teams into long shots to get long rebounds. Steph is not down there boxing people out, getting rebounds.
How did they force people through long shots with Draymond at the rim and
with great
and
defense,
Zaza?
keeping people in front of you was forcing them to long shots.
Zaza's the rim protector.
If you have great perimeter defenders, they can keep you in front of them and force you to break.
Bro, you blaming Steph Curry because his team because he
you just blame LeBron for his height, but I can't
you're gonna
blame...
always piggyback that. You've been blaming Michael Jordan for stuff, and now you blaming Steph Curry, and then you go into my one thing that I blame LeBron for, and not even blame him for that. I'm just saying that yes, his height contributes to the assists that he makes, just like Magic Johnson.
I feel like he benefits from the fact that his running mate Klay Thompson is one of the best two-way guards. So he's taking the whatever guard, like on a night where it's either Dame or CJ. Steph's guarding CJ. He's not guarding Dame. You feel me? And
they're hiding Steph Curry.
Exactly.
Whoever, if Mo Harkless on the court, they put in Steph or Mo Harkless.
Yo, bro, Steph Curry's defense is not that bad at all. On-ball defense is not that bad at all.
I'm not saying it's bad, but understand he's benefiting from the fact that he's guarding, like Marcus said, he's guarding Mo Harkless, and then he doesn't spend any energy on the defensive end.
He's a lane shooter. He shoots the lane.
And then he's running.
That's a skill.
Yes, but only reason those lanes are there.
Steph Curry is the only person that gets blamed for shooting the lane and stealing the ball.
I'm not blaming
John
anybody.
Wall does the same thing. Rubio does the same thing.
I'm not blaming anything. They do it off of speed. Like John Wall can close a gap in freaking a millisecond.
And Steph Curry does it off of anticipation, off his feel for the game.
From seeing what his other defenders are doing is what I'm trying to say.
That not a skill. Is that not a skill?
I'm sorry. In terms of when I say defense, I don't mean you being able to shoot a gap. Like I feel like that's not.
So I could say the same thing about LeBron though, because his on-ball defense isn't all that at all.
He doesn't play
at
he
all.
doesn't really play most stars these days don't go.
Not even all that. It's not good, bro. If a person can dribble the ball, LeBron is getting left, just like you saw with Victor Oladipo, in and out, bye, whoop. Hacking you all the way, and then I'm a
backs out to half court every time. Runs at you. If you move back, he's shooting a three. If you don't, he's running past you. He's quicker than LeBron. Okay, I'm happy for you.
Then nigga, I'm not letting you backpedal by yourself. I'm on your.
I mean, that's what I was thinking too when he was doing it. But
I'm like, go ahead.
But people weren't doing that. Yeah,
we at half court.
But
I'm on your hip.
I mean, fanny pack again. But just in close of what. Since you said we could do it to any basketball player in terms of like taking something away from the player and they're going to be a bench player. What are you taking?
No, you were wrong when you said that because Steph Curry is not a sixth man if you take away his jump shot.
So what is
he didn't make jump shots first game of this series that he's in right now. He had 18, 8, and like 7. That's a sixth man?
Steph Curry. If people knew Steph Curry couldn't shoot,
mind you, Steph Curry leads the league 3 years in a row in field goal percentage at the rim on drives.
Steph
3 years in a row.
Why is he able to produce those lanes?
3 years in a row.
Why is he able to produce those lanes?
Because he shakes niggas out they fucking socks, bro.
You know you have to pick him up at half court, so now you have a whole lane to the basket, the rest of the basket.
Yo, if you pick him up at half court and you the glove, you can lock him up, but you can't.
No, but understand, like, but people.
You're not taking nothing away from LeBron and think that he's not going to be
playing devil's advocate.
Take away his athleticism. He's a dub.
That's not a part of the game. How do you say athleticism?
Not a part of the game.
No, that's not a skill that you do in the game. Athleticism is not a skill.
You work towards to be better than the rest of your team.
Me saying taking away shooting, that's something you actually do on the court.
Athleticism shows on the court, bro. He's bigger than everybody, bro.
That's not a skill. Dribbling is a skill. Rebounding is a skill. Passing the ball is a skill. Athleticism is not a skill.
You got to remember, though, Steph still scored 18 that game, and he still had an impact on that game.
8 rebounds, 7 assists.
If teams
8 assists, 7 rebounds.
He would not get those lanes to the basket, is what I'm trying to say.
But
they're still going to respect it because they know he's Steph Curry. He could still hit a shot, so they're still going to guard him out there. But if I knew he had Ben Simmons' jump shot, he's not going to have the effect that Ben Simmons has at all.
So you got to put Ben Simmons' jump shot on Stephen Curry for him to not be good.
But I'm saying if you take something away from him, he would be ineffective as an NBA basketball player.
But they can't take it away from him.
I'm saying it.
But they can't. You asking God to take away from him. You asking God to take this jump shot away from him. These NBA teams can't take this jump shot away from him.
I'm not saying that they can. I'm saying what makes a player great to me is that you can't take away one part of somebody's game and be doo-doo. I feel like that's
so you
Steph
feel
Curry.
The same thing about Steph. I mean, for Kobe.
What did we take away from him?
His scoring ability.
He was a great defender.
And that was it. That would be the only thing that was left.
I mean, but that would keep him on the court. Is what I'm trying to say.
That would keep him on the court as a starter because that's the only thing that he would have left.
I mean, Tony Allen has been a starter. Shane Battier has been a starter. Tayshaun Prince has been a starter.
So
I don't think
if Kobe
still had that Mamba mentality and he was a great defender,
that's another
I would keep him on the
skill.
court.
That's his IQ and all that. Steph Curry's IQ is off the freaking charts. As far as assist goes, ball movement goes, where the ball is supposed to be, Steph Curry's IQ is up there. Y'all might not see it now because of KD. Watch the unanimous MVP season, bro.
You have to have IQ to shoot the gap, but
to do a lot of the things that he does,
shooting,
bro.
I feel like Steph Curry.
He's a better passer than people give him too.
On the bench somewhere.
I mean, if he couldn't shoot threes, he's not gonna be scoring 30 a game, but
Like
he'll definitely give you 18
from doing what? Going to the rim?
Yeah, going to the rim, he could do that.
He's not gonna have those lanes to the rim if you can't shoot. Why do you think Ben Simmons has
playing on a team
only
with
reason
Clay
Ben Simmons
and
can score is because
KD?
he's tall. He can't shoot people who don't defend his jump shot, but he can still score because he's tall. Steph Curry's short and don't have a jump shot. I think he's still going to score.
How's he not going to have the lanes if he's playing on a team with Clay and KD?
Because nobody's going
really
to guard him up. Nobody's going to his defender. That's
so his
him
handle is still going to be there.
If Ricky Rubio can score 18, I feel like Steph will score 18 without his jump shot.
Ricky Rubio been shooting the ball. I don't know if you've seen it.
Not now, yeah, but he's definitely a mediocre scorer.
Tell me, Rondo, probably the only guard that I could think of that has no jump shot that's really scoring the ball. Like that can really score the ball if he put his mind to it.
And the games are similar and like they can both pass. Like
and rebound.
His passing on the level as Rondo.
It's not on the level, but he can pass.
On ball defense is not on the level as Rondo at all.
He averaged more steals than him, but on ball defense you got.
All right, listen, Marcus. I hear you. I agree. I agree. But I feel like he can still give you 18, 5 and 5.
Okay, I would like to see how he would do it.
And that's still really good, my nigga. That's 18, 5 and 5 from your point guard is really good. I'm taking that. I'll take that shit.
27 and 7.
But yeah, that was our last topic. We're gonna wrap it up now.
I need a soundbite from Trent. I need to know what he working on.
Yeah, that's about to say. If you want to throw in where you work, what you're doing, social media outlets, all that kind of stuff, it's your time to do that.
I actually am in like deep cover mode right now, working on this next project. Not really on Instagram. I actually just downloaded Instagram again so that I could go live and support my brothers right here. Facebook, same thing. But you can find me on IG as SomBX, nigga. SOMBXNIGGA. I have a project coming out middle of the summer. Right now, I'm just working at the studio, DSN Studio. Shout out to DSN. You know, engineering radio shows and shit like this. So you might see my boys over there. You know, we could definitely talk and shit like that.
We'll pull up and shoot the shits.
Yeah, man.
So definitely appreciate you coming out.
Already know.
Definitely had to have you on the show for your nonsense. I
thought he said knowledge. Nigga said knowledge.
But yeah, again, shout out to OS Production. Omar's doing a good job here. If you guys, again, if you're in the Bronx, need a studio to work at, you know, for your podcast.
Shit is real official. Y'all can't see it.
Definitely pull up.
Y'all can't see the whole thing, but this shit is official.
I could definitely, I mean, we got our Instagram page right now is SI_podcast. The A is a V, but y'all could definitely follow us there. I'm definitely gonna promote Omar in his studio as well. But again, yeah, thanks for tuning in. It's his boy Stat, DJ O here. And we out.
Oh wait, I need to drop my fault. I apologize. Tune into my radio show each and every Friday, the P-Game Show on zonedout.net.
It's Friday now?
It's Fridays now, 3 to 6.
When was it before?
It was Wednesdays 12 to 3. I have an afternoon show and I have a happy hour show on the Friday nights. Fucking amazing. I appreciate it. I be drunk all the time. Yeah, so look out for that. The podcast support it. It's under construction. We working and we giving you content. So just keep fucking with us. We gonna have this shit down packed real soon. And what else motherfuckers need to look out for? That album dropping. There's a bunch of shit we working on. Just don't worry about it. I'm trying to get my life together. You feel me? And this silk do rag is immaculate. So I'm gonna see y'all motherfuckers soon. That's all I gotta say.